I've run like I've run like Facebook and IG stuff, and I've have a decent grasp over that. And I know most of the well, I know when I run like an IG ad, for instance, IG is optimizing for through plays, right? Is YouTube able to optimize for anything in that sense, like let's say views or whatever, or do I have to do that manually? Is that always a manual process, or is it like smart like Facebook where it figures out like the most through plays are coming from here and it maneuvers that way, or the most views are coming from this one area and it goes that way, you know?
No, it's not as smart as Facebook.
Mm,
Um, Facebook is highly algorithm driven or artificial intelligence driven. Uh,
yeah.
YouTube is more about finding the pocket,
Mm.
and there's
What do you
pros
mean
and
by that?
cons to each of those. So finding a pocket is, hey, I'm getting this amount for targeting these people,
Yeah.
and there's some level of optimization to it that you can do, but overall, it's uh, pretty superficial in comparison to Facebook.
So I basically have to watch it more.
Well, it's not about watching it more. It's about, all right, is this pocket working or not?
Mm.
And then, all right, if that pocket's not working, let me try this pocket.
Oh, okay.
And then let me try this pocket where Facebook can take some of your bullshit and just ultimately start to optimize and make it
Yeah.
better a lot of times. And it
Yeah.
self corrects. That's why it's a good starter platform for people. YouTube, it takes you actually looking at it and then moving it somewhere else and testing it. The beauty is YouTube can be scaled so much faster because of that, though.
All right, what up, world? Hemingway checking in, and we are back with another episode of Unwritten Rules. Now, today we're gonna be talking about ads, right? So, specifically Facebook ads versus YouTube ads. And I can only give you guys the experience that I personally had with either or of the things we're talking about today, or the topics. I'm not a guru. I'm not trying to be a guru or act like a guru, but I am trying to give experience directly from an artist who hears things, learns things, researches things, and implements them in my everyday come up. Basically trying to, you know what I'm saying, catch that stride and grow my fan base. YouTube ads and Facebook ads are things that have worked for me, but I'm still learning how to do them. So before I go any further than that, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube page, ring the notification bell. You'll get notifications for all my music videos, all my reaction videos, and all my unwritten rules, story times, and things like that. And stay in tune with me, man. All right, so the clip that I had today, I grabbed this from BrandManSean. So shout out to BrandManSean. I've been watching this content for at least like 2 or 3 years now. And he always give out good suggestions as of things that artists can do. Now, a lot of his shit that he does, he has, or a lot of the information that he gives is based off facts and trials and error, because he's somebody who's done marketing and things like that. And that's his background. Ultimately, he just giving game, and people can take it or they don't. And I've tried a handful of things that he said over the years that I felt like fit for me. And overall, just from like the BrandManSeans, the Curtis Kings, and other YouTube pages, Kato, stuff like that, that always talk about the ads. I got into the ads at least like the end of 2018, early 2019, and really started to try to utilize the ads more. So Facebook ads specifically, because it is the easiest. YouTube ads I've been trying for a long time, but I never really got the hang of, because it is a little bit more in detail on how you do that shit. So for me specifically with Facebook, right, it's pretty much what you see. You make just a regular post and it gives you that option to boost the post. It's just gonna boost it and make that spread more to that category, that target base, target demographic. That's the term I should use, target demographic. If you actually create an ad, like you're making a post, but I know I'm gonna do this as an ad, then you have the option to use the generated demographic that they have targeted for you, or you can kind of set it your own, like your own thing. Like, I'm from South Carolina, so I know I might want to have South Carolina, but I also live in North Carolina, so I might want to have North Carolina as well, and the cities that I specifically lived in and all that, and I break it down in like the age range that I know is going to be good for me. Those are the type of things you want to put into Facebook. And ultimately, like BrandManSean was saying, Facebook ads, like I'm gonna try to just break this down, make it like lingo for dummies, right? Like Facebook ads can basically turn your shit to sugar. Like it really can make it something. Let's say if it's views specifically, Facebook is gonna give you a lot of views. Now, some of these views ain't really shit. As my man was saying about the through plays, a lot of the videos that we see that has hundreds of thousands or millions of plays, that's like 3-second views, and that shit's really not a whole through play, 30 seconds and shit like that. So it's really not a million views. It being like a little bit smarter than YouTube, it's gonna give you data. It's gonna give you something for what you put into it and your money. And that's where it looks good, but you gotta really know how to utilize that shit and grow. And depending on what you're targeting, whether it's views or like trying to actually get messages or actually trying to get bookings or shit like that for your artistry or for your business. With YouTube, that shit is completely different because you have to actually, you still have the targeting options like Facebook has, but you have to really know what you're talking about. You have the option to do like keywords, whether it's going to be mobile devices or the computers, or you know, like Google keywords, YouTube keywords. You can select artists that you think your music is similar to. Once you start basically paying for the clicks and shit and you put your budget up, it'll start putting your music more in front of those type of artists. I got a song with 3D Nati, so if I end up promoting a song and selecting her shit, the goal of that is to try to put you in more of her like types of YouTube ads and stuff that's popping up if you wanted to show up on YouTube. Or it might get, it's Google ads, so it might get an option to show up more on Google in general, like in the search bar. But you got to figure out what works for you, because some keyword might be hotter than like me trying to do it the other way, like trying to promote off of artist pages or artist searches and shit like that. Like YouTube, like he was saying about finding a niche, you have to really figure out, you got to try different shit and figure out what works for you. With Facebook, you low key can just like set it a certain way, 18 to 35 in South Carolina, and you know what I'm saying, Orange County, and that shit just it's gonna do what it's gonna do. That's what it is. With YouTube, that shit, you could try that shit might not give you nothing, but then you could do one little tweak or take one artist off or change one keyword. It's a real different field on each side, but ultimately, man, you gotta try it out for yourself. Do your runs, do your reps, see what works for you. Learn that shit. I've learned it myself to a degree. Facebook works for me. It's the best for beginners. I'm gonna keep running that up. I particularly like to get people's phone numbers and emails so I can contact them, try to convert them over to subscribe to my YouTube or to follow me on Instagram. That's my game, something that I would suggest you to do. Fuck trying to get them views, because them views don't count for shit. And I mean, until it's really like organic, all the way people watching your video through. But for now, try to connect with people and get their information, man. But other than that, that's what I got for today, man. If y'all like this shirt, go to my website, theleaderslegion.com. This shirt is available on that site. You can DM me or message me, email me, anything if you need, if you feel like that other way is comfortable for you to get in touch with me. Until next time, make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube page. I'm out.